So I'm curious if you two guys are friends, competitors, friendly competitors. How do you define your relationship?
Oh, I love Dave. That's it. I love him. He's an icon to be respected in the South Florida industry, just like you are. I don't.
Thank you.
But competitors, why would I compete against Dave Hyde? He's like we came up together.
If we're competing, then I got swept in a 4-game series because look where Dan is in the media world, national icon, and I'm down here still at my keyboard pecking away. So no, we're friends.
You know, all the sportscasts are on at relatively the same time, so I don't get to see my competitors very often. Do you two guys read each other's columns?
Well, I haven't written a column in many years. I've become a professional court jester. I just write occasionally for ESPN.com. I read Dave. I admire his work. Dave is still out here fighting the good journalism fight, still out here reporting, working sources. He's still out here with the credibility of newspapers. I've traded it all in for a court jester's bells on his hat and a clown nose.
He's traded in for a much better gig for him. And let's face it, who wouldn't do that if you could? Dan's multi-talented. I only have one talent, and that's sitting at a keyboard and pecking away as I go down in the La Brea tar pit like all the other brontosauruses. But we'll watch you right to the end, Shappy. We are excited. We're happy for your career.
That is not the same as saying we're happy that you're ending your career.
He
meant to say he's the writer, and he meant to say that he's happy for the breadth and the entirety and the depth and the profundity of your career, not that we're happy your career is ending. I would think he would communicate that slightly better and more emotionally.
No, I did mean that.
I will promise you this. We have never used the word profundity on this show before. All right, let's pick up on that theme a little bit. Was your mission, Dan, when you were writing in Dave today, was your mission just to offer your opinions, or were you trying to shape the opinions of others? Dave?
I was really just offering my opinion 99% of the time. Very rarely was I think it was so important that I'm going to shape everybody's opinion out there. I'm offering my perspective of sports or an event or a person.
Yes, I wanted to change the way children view the world, Steve. When I sat down, that was my ambition. I wanted to change the way every customer in the arena experienced life when reading my words. I wanted them to put down the newspaper. Is this too lofty? Is it too ambitious? I wanted them to put down the newspaper and say, my God, that was Shakespearean in breadth, but also made me reconsider my every life view and political opinion while writing about Irving Spikes.
Irving Spikes, oh my God, an Irving Spikes reference. Hey, the TV guys used to call the newspaper guys scribblers. I think we still do. You guys always got better access. Yeah, the teams respected the newspaper writers a lot more than the TV reporters. How did you guys feel about the TV guys? And as I said, we called you guys scribblers.
Well, I would feel jealous because I'd walk the press room and I'd see you guys applying makeup to your faces. And I'd think, wow, I want a career too like that, or I can put makeup on myself.
What I did was sort of similar, okay, because I would spit a sort of poisonous, judgmental bile. And I believe one of the reporters from Channel 7 who emerged for Jimmy Johnson's moment leaving the University of Miami for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't believe it was you, Steve. It was somebody else. I'm forgetting his name. But he pulled up out of the van, and the only thing he had on him was a brush. It was only a brush he had shown up. And so I like to look at that and be like, really, guy, you're being paid all this money more than I am, who is like trying to work on my craft, and you showed up at work for with a brush. And then what did I do? I chose that profession, left writing behind. And now that bile is spit at me.
So TV news is trending in the same direction as newspapers. They're trending in the wrong direction because so many people are getting their information now from electronics. Do you two guys, as veterans of the newspaper business, are you worried? Are you concerned about where newspapers are heading?
You're talking to someone who draws my paycheck from newspapers. So yes, I'm you know, and there's a sadness to it for me too, because I see great talent out there in the journalism profession. I've worked with either out of jobs or look. So yeah, there's a, you know, this is who I am.
When Dave speaks of sadness, Steve, there are a couple of moments that stand out to me in terms of having just my child a bit extinguished, seeing that the Herald building on the bay was gone all of a sudden. It didn't exist there because so many of my formative years were spent there. And as a microcosm for what's happened to journalism in terms of cheapening, it's so important as a checks and balances, as a representative of the community. Miami is a corrupt city as its core. Like, it needs a newspaper to be there fighting against the corruption.
Dave, is there a column that you still like to write? Is there something out there that you haven't done that you wanted?
The column to write, Dolphins in the Super Bowl. I've never seen the Dolphins get close in my, you know, 59 years of column writing.
Dave Hyde has been writing 17 years of columns on just unfathomably crappy, irrelevant teams that can't do anything. The Panthers, nothing in the playoffs. The Dolphins, not a playoff victory. The Marlins, since Dwayne Wade was with the Heat, nothing. The Miami Hurricanes died on his watch. I felt so bad for you having to go through a deadline column in a newspaper at midnight writing about, oh, the University of Miami has lost its 4th game of the season to the Virginia Cavaliers.
The bad part about this job in the last 20 years, as Dan was alluding, is meeting good people, talented people, when the elevator is going down on their careers. And you have to be the observer and chronicler of that disaster for them, and you writing about the worst time in their careers. That is no fun.
Speaking of which, Dave, this is the end. This is the celebratory end. We're going to the last weeks of an iconic Steve Shapiro career. He squeezed every ounce out of the television sports business. Look at him. He is radiant. He is post-coital because he has gotten to the very end. Look how happy he is. This is the happiest Steve Shapiro I have ever seen. A craftsman, a sculptor of sports television, fleeing the premises at exactly the right time during an apocalyptic pandemic.
Hey, it was always, you know, the expression carpe diem, and I always live by carpe per diem. And I got all the money I could get out of this place. I promise you that. Hey, listen, I don't know if I'll be sucking down any food in media dining rooms in the future, but I really hope that our paths cross again. I really am happy that we were able to do this. And thank you for helping me with my send-off, and we'll talk soon. Thank you very much.
Shappy, you're the greatest. I'm going to miss watching you. I'm going to miss watching you. Thank you.
Stop.
Yes, we are going to miss you, buddy.
Goodbye, man.